I woke up to diesel engines and a megaphone in my driveway. And for a second, I honestly thought I was still dreaming, because there were 10 full-size charter buses lined up at my gate, like I was running some kind of theme park. People in matching shirts climbing down phones, out, taking selfies in my garden, and at the front, on my land, that I pay taxes on, and there's this woman in a neon vest yelling, "Open the gate. Michael, you're legally required to let the public in." Like she owns the place. And by the end of that same weekend, I had those same people locked behind an industrial ranch gate on my property. TV vans trapped Cheryl, screaming that I was kidnapping her supporters, and me live streaming the whole thing to thousands of people. So yeah, if you live under an HOA or you've ever dealt with someone who thinks a clipboard makes them God, go ahead and put your city in the comments right now. Because I need to know if this is normal where you live too, because it should not be normal where I live. My name is Michael Carter. I teach US history at Ridgeview High. I'm not rich. I'm not a lawyer. I don't have political friends. I just saved for years and bought 6 acres off Hollow Creek Road so I could grow food, sit on my porch, watch my chickens do dumb chicken things, and not have to deal with Brookside Reserve HOA, which sits down the road like its own little country club, with bylaws for how tall your grass is allowed to be. I'm serious. People in that subdivision get warned for painting shutters the wrong shade of gray. And the president of that HOA is this woman named Cheryl Whitman. And if you've met somebody like Cheryl, then you already know the type. She's the kind of person who knocks at 6:15 in the morning with a violation notice in one hand, and that soft, fake smile that really means, "Do what I say," or "I'm going to make your life cost more money." She introduces herself like a rank. "I'm Cheryl. I'm the president." Like that title is something you salute, and I picked my land specifically to not be under her, because I watched families at my school move out of Brookside just to get away from her. I said to myself, not me, not my life. I will drink coffee on my porch in peace, you know what I mean? Then I get bus day. It's 5-something in the morning. I throw on sweatpants and walk down my gravel driveway, and I'm looking at a full-blown tour operation. We're talking 3 buses already unloading at my gate. Big vinyl Brookside Heritage Garden Tour. 2025 signs taped in the windows. People in matching shirts stretching like they just arrived at a botanical retreat, and one lady already halfway over my fence trying to get a cute picture with my scarecrow. Like my scarecrow is some roadside attraction on a map. And I find this glossy brochure tucked in my gate with photos of my garden and my greenhouse and my chicken coop. And it says, "Historic Brookside Annex Community Garden, $30 per guest. All proceeds benefit Brookside Preservation Society." And then right there, under that, my address, my legal address, like my private land, has just been renamed. Without my permission, like it's an annex of her HOA now. Like she stamped it, and I'm standing there barefoot in my own driveway reading a brochure for a tour of my own food. The bus driver, this guy, Troy, he comes over trying to be respectful, clipboard in his hand. Like I'm check-in. "Morning, sir. We're here for the 7 a.m. block. Ms. Whitman said you'd unlock the gate after you calmed down." And I'm like, "There is no tour. This is private property. You've been lied to." And his face goes from friendly to, "Oh no," real fast. And he shows me his contract, which I photograph, because I'm a teacher, and documentation is my love language. And this contract literally says, the venue is Brookside Annex Community Garden. And it says, authorized by C. Whitman, President Brookside Reserve, HOA. Which would be hilarious if it wasn't my actual mailbox in the background. Because number 1, I'm not in Brookside, and number 2, annex is not a thing. You can't just point at land you don't own and rename it like you're planting a flag. We fought a whole revolution about this. I literally teach that unit. Then I hear heels on gravel. Sharp, fast, angry, like an HR lady in a movie who already decided you're fired before the meeting even starts. And here comes Cheryl in a neon HOA safety vest, like she's FEMA sunglasses. Clipboard, zero humility, and she doesn't even say hello. She points at my locked gate with her pen, like she's pointing at a dog that peed on the carpet. You need to open this immediately. You're holding up scheduled guests. Scheduled guests on my land. And I go, "Who are you?" And she laughs. Actually, laughs like I just said something adorable, and she turns her back on me to face the bus driver and goes loud enough for everyone to hear. "We're cleared for access. It's permitted. Bring Group A through first, so the seniors don't have to stand, and I'm just watching this woman sort people into Group A and Group B on my property like she's boarding a cruise, so I raise my voice, calm but loud. Teacher voice, you're trespassing." And she finally looks at me like I'm wasting her time and says, "I'm Cheryl Whitman, president of Brookside Reserve Homeowners Association under Community Beautification Permit. I have the right to access and showcase protected green spaces within a 1-mile cultural overlay district." And I go, "Cool, show me that permit." And she clutches the clipboard to her chest like it's nuclear launch codes and says, "I don't have to show you anything, and I won't be spoken to like this." Then she leans in close, drops her voice. So it's just for me, and she says the part that made my blood go hot. She says, "I've been president for 9 years. I know every council member, every code officer, every permit clerk, every person who matters in this county. You think your little teacher salary is going to outlast me? And listen." I won't lie, that sat in my chest like a rock. Because right then, I understood her whole strategy. It wasn't about the land, it was about wearing me down, breaking me in public, pushing me until I just said, "Fine, take it. Just stop, and if nobody else has ever told you this, let me be the one. These people don't need to be, right? They just need you tired." After I refuse to open the gate, Cheryl spins it right there in front of the crowd. "Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, the caretaker is having a moment and refusing to honor our long-standing community access agreement. Caretaker, not owner-caretaker, like I'm her grounds guy throwing a tantrum. And then she announces she's filing a complaint about me with the city. And she tells me real quiet, "You just made a mistake. I can make your job very uncomfortable." So, yeah, that happened. By Monday, she's already hit Facebook with a cropped picture of me, mid-sentence hand up. Looking angry captioned, "Local teacher screams at elderly visitors ruins heritage event." And my principal is calling me into her office like, "Mike, did you yell at a bus full of retirees?" And I'm sitting there like, "No. I told 50 strangers to get off my tomatoes, and people in town I've never met are emailing me words like selfish and hostile and anti-community." And I'll be honest with you, that part hurt more than the fence cutters, because my job is all I've got, and this woman is going straight for it, like it's nothing. And then, thank God, Evelyn shows up. Evelyn Ross, 73 years old, retired county clerk, 5 feet of bones and paperwork, walks into my kitchen like a federal agent and drops a binder on my table so thick it shakes the salt shaker. "Sit down," she says. "We have work to do." And what she shows me blows my mind because this isn't new. This is a pattern. Cheryl did this to a black family on Maple Street, called their backyard the Brookside Native Plants Walk, pressured them with code violations until they sold at a loss. She did it to the family that runs the plant nursery. By the highway, put them on a heritage trail map without asking. Then buried them in inspections. When they told her no, she even created fake nonprofits with sweet names like Green Tomorrow Foundation and Brookside Preservation Society to collect donations that never show up in any state registry. And Evelyn's just flipping page after page going, she's not creative, she's just practiced. And the reason she keeps getting away with it is because nobody ever had both documentation and a spine. At the same time, you, Michael, are about to become very annoying. And then she tells me the part that almost made me laugh, until I realized she was dead serious. She's bringing 10 buses on Saturday. She's calling it Brookside Heritage Festival. She's filming it. She's going to stage a peaceful community access moment on your land, then walk into court Monday morning and argue that your property is basically public space by tradition. And that was the moment I stopped being scared and I started getting mad, because this wasn't just disrespect anymore. This was attempted theft, slow motion with merch. Saturday hits, and it's worse than I pictured, because it's not 3 buses this time, it's 10. And it's not 50 people, it's like 400 pouring out in matching purple. Save Our Gardens shirts, plus a bounce house, plus folding tables, plus coolers of Chardonnay at 7 in the morning. And here comes Cheryl in a red power blazer with a megaphone, like she's leading a civil rights march. Good morning, neighbors. Welcome to the 12th annual Brookside Heritage Festival. 12th, she really said. 12th, like this is some sacred event she's been running for more than a decade. And I'm the new villain, trying to shut down the children. And people start cutting my fence with bolt cutters. Kids are running in my strawberries. A guy in a volunteer lanyard is unloading a grill directly onto my lawn. And I just go live. I hold my phone up, and I start talking, I'm clear, like I'm teaching. My name is Michael Carter. I legally own this land. There is no easement. There is no community access agreement. There is no registered nonprofit called Brookside Preservation Society. You were sold tickets under false pretenses, and you are trespassing. And you could actually see faces change, because a lot of those people weren't there to be part of a stunt they thought they were at some cute local historical farm thing. And the second I said fraud and evidence, they started backing up. And by the time the cops rolled in and I handed Officer Daniels screenshots of the bus contracts and the timeline, Cheryl wrote for peaceful entry. 7 a.m., secure presence. 8:30. Media capture, and 10:00. Cheryl wasn't playing fearless anymore. She was playing cornered. You'd think that would be enough. Cops tell everybody to leave stories over. But no. Cheryl pivots again, sets up tents and porta-potties in my south field, and calls it a peaceful occupation of stolen community. Land calls. The news calls. Some little YouTube activist media collective files an emergency injunction claiming historical right of access, and the sheriff basically tells me their hands are tied until a judge looks at it. Monday, which means translation. I now have a protest camp on my property, drinking white wine and calling me a colonizer on Facebook. That night, I paced my kitchen so hard I wore a line in the floor, and at some point I realized I can't outshout her, but I can out-paperwork her. So Sunday morning, I install an industrial ranch gate across my driveway. Post bright yellow signs that say, "At noon, this gate will lock." Vehicles left inside will be considered abandoned evidence and may be secured for the active fraud investigation. Pedestrians may exit on foot at any time, and at 11:45 I get on my own megaphone and say, 15-minute warning if you want to drive out, do it now, afternoon, your cars are staying. And they laugh. Cheryl laughs the loudest. You can't do that. That's unlawful imprisonment. I'll have you in cuffs. And at exactly 12 hours, I close that gate and snap the padlock. And the sound that chain made, I won't lie to you, that felt like justice. You have never seen confidence leave a group that fast reporters suddenly realize their vans are trapped. Some mom is crying because she needs to pick up her kid from softball. The porta potty guy is yelling because his truck is now technically evidence, and all that anger. Every ounce of it is pointed straight at Cheryl. You said this was legal, Cheryl. Cheryl, fix this right now. Cheryl, sign whatever he wants. So I give them terms. I say, I'll unlock this gate when I have signatures. You will all sign that you trespassed and will not return, and Cheryl will sign that she will stop using my address for her little heritage tours and refund the people she sold fake tickets to. And they turn on her like a pack, and she tries to spin it. This is about community access. This is about green space for the children. And one of her own volunteers just goes, Girl, I missed work for this, sign the paper. And yeah, she signed hand. Shaking jaw. Locked, eyes burning holes through me, like she wanted to set me on fire, and we notarized all of it on camera live. After that, it happened fast. County fraud investigators. State attorney warrants on the HOA office, frozen accounts. Cheryl walked out of her big white house in handcuffs on the 6 o'clock news charges, like wire fraud, theft by deception, misuse of charitable funds, conspiracy tax. Stuff, real charges, not slaps. Homeowners in Brookside voted her out, and then voted out the whole board term, limits mandatory audits. They're literally calling it the Whitman rule. And a couple weeks later, I'm in court under oath, telling this story like I'm telling it to you right now. And her lawyer's like, would it really have harmed you to let the community enjoy the green space for a few hours? And I said, what you call enjoying is 400 strangers cutting my fence, trampling the food I grow. For my students, drinking wine at 7 in the morning and posting online that I'm dangerous. So yeah, it harmed me. And the jury didn't take long. Guilty all counts. And now I'm back on my porch, same chickens. Fence repaired. Strawberries, coming back cameras. Still up, not gonna lie. Part of me is proud. Not because I won, but because I didn't fold and become another name in Evelyn's binder. And part of me is still mad, because it should not take a live stream, a notary, and a hostage situation with a porta potty truck to get basic respect for private property. You know what I mean? Tell me this and be honest. Was I wrong for locking that gate and forcing signatures? Do you see that as crossing a line? Or was that just self-defense with paperwork? Bigger question, are HOAs really about protecting neighborhoods? Or are they just a way for people like Cheryl to feel powerful and call it community? Tell me in the comments. Tell me where you're watching from. And if you've got your own Cheryl story, I want to hear it. Because I promise you're not the only one.